I might lose my farm because of the government.
When does it become your economy? When is it a Trump economy where we get to see if your plans are working?
So when I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. We will end Kamala's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to.
Yeah, we inherited. Yeah. And inflation is back. I'm only here for 2.5 weeks.
That was January.
Inflation is back. No, think of it. Inflation's back, and they said, "Oh, Trump inflation." I had nothing to do with it.
Trump moves the goalposts once again. He was going to fix the economy on day one, but now it takes 6 months to a year. He lied to you. He lied to everybody. It's time to impeach. It's time to get out in the streets. The only way to stop Donald Trump is the people of the United States. Congress is not going to do it. The Republicans are not going to do it. They're scared of Elon's money. He'll primary them and they'll lose their sweet cush position in Congress, making $275,000 a year. And a lot of people don't know that if you're in Congress, after 5 years of serving in Congress, you get your full salary for the rest of your life. Why do you think Lauren Boebert was fighting so hard to get that third term? 2 terms is only 4 years. But Lauren Boebert, the lowlife from Western Colorado, she moved districts, which is almost unheard of. She basically was a carpetbagger, moving districts to Eastern Colorado, where the margins were much greater for Republicans because she almost lost her seat in Western Colorado. So she moved districts so she could get that sweet third term for that sweet, sweet pension of $275,000 a year for life. Or correction, I think it's $175,000 a year. Either way, it's a lot of money. That's with their full benefits, their health care package and all that. And they get the premium sweet health care package, better than the rest of us feds get. They get everything because they make the laws. They give it to themselves. So what do you expect? They're gonna set themselves up. So they're in Congress right now. They just put forth their budget. It's got $4 trillion to add to the deficit so they could give the richest 85% of Americans a tax cut. Oh, and by the way, they have Shitler Elon Musk, the white supremacist from South Africa. By the way, I've been all over the world. I've worked all over the world. I know many South Africans, and I've never met a white South African. That's not true. I met one that wasn't a white supremacist. So say what you want about white South Africans, and go ahead and comment if you know any white South Africans, and maybe you're a white South African. I'm just saying from my experience, I've met, tens, not hundreds, but tens of white South Africans, and they've said crazy things to me. Like I worked with a guy in Chile as a RAF guide, a South African white guy who said he thinks all black people belong in cages, stuff like that. And this is where Elon Musk comes from. And right now, he's running the U.S. government because old bag Trump's certainly not running it. See, this is the thing. Elon is letting Trump go out there and, fly around in his jet to the Super Bowl, to the Daytona 500, give the libs the finger and, just living it up out there, spending American money. By the way, they're cutting all these federal workers at Doge and saving all this money. Well, Donald Trump, the reason why a U.S. president has never gone to the Super Bowl before is because the amount of money it costs and just the blatant greed and glut it takes just to spend $1 million for one day. The president spent $1 million+ to go to the Super Bowl. They fired all these feds. Most federal workers won't make $1 million in their whole 20 or 30 year career. Trump spent that in one day going to the Super Bowl. So think about that for a minute. Okay, I got some videos for you guys today to look at. Trump is lying again. He's moving the goalposts. He said he was day one. He was going to fix the economy. Day one, he was going to end the war in Ukraine. Well, he's not ending the war in Ukraine. He's taking Putin's side on the war in Ukraine. If you haven't seen that, watch this video. But Trump is an asset for the Russians. He was groomed 40 years ago by the KGB. There's proof, there's witnesses. Like I said, watch this video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's get to the videos.
When all those promises that Donald Trump made, remember how he promised that he's going to cut
credit card interest rates down
Yeah.
to 10%.
No tax on tips. He
let's see
promised
it.
that.
No tax on tips, right? No tax on Social
That's what
Security.
he said.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Because one of two things is going
By the way, the no tax on tips and the no tax on Social Security have already been cut from the budget. They can't afford it. They can't give billionaires, they can't give Elon Musk a tax cut if they give regular working schleps like waiters and waitresses and the retired people a tax cut. How's that going to work?
is going to happen. Either he's going to deliver on those promises, which means he's going to have the courage to stand up to those billionaires, or he's just pitching in with the billionaires and he's going to say to all of those people who counted on him, all those people who voted, nope, you don't really matter.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's all framed up now. It's no longer, oh, we're in the campaign and he can promise this to this group and that to that group. And there were a lot of us, you included, who kept saying, but wait a minute, you can't do both of those things at the same time. We are now coming to the part of the world where you literally can't do both of those things at the same time.
Right.
And Trump is going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And he's either going to deliver on some of those promises for people, or he's just handing this whole thing over to the billionaires in return for a nice price.
Yeah, so Trump is bought and paid for. Everything he's doing right now is for billionaires. It's not for you. So MAGA, if you voted for him, go ahead and let me know. I want to hear from you. Write in the comments how you feel right now about the price of eggs, about your 401k plummeting, the stock market plummeting, Trump planning on spending all this money on billionaire tax breaks, $500 million in piece of junk Cybertrucks for the military. Yet he's firing your friends at the Fed. He's firing your relatives at the Fed. Go ahead and let me know. Comment below. How do you feel now? Now, I know MAGA, if you are MAGA, it's not in your personality to say you're wrong because you think you're always right. But I still want to hear from you. Go ahead and comment.
It's said that debating an idiot is like playing chess with a pigeon. They'll knock over the pieces, they'll crap on the board, and they'll fly back to their flock and claim victory. It's funny and insightful, but according to the theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer, it's also deeply worrying. Because for Bonhoeffer, stupidity is far more concerning than evil. There are evil people in life. There are murderers, cheaters, and liars, but they are not the greatest threat. Because once something is known to be evil, the good of the world can rally to defend and fight against it. When we know somebody is bad, we know how to take a stand. And so, as Bonhoeffer put it, evil always carries within itself the germ of its own subversion. Stupidity, though, is a different problem, and we cannot so easily fight it for two reasons. The first is that we are much more tolerant of it as a society. We do not take stupidity that seriously. We do not attack somebody for not knowing a thing. The second reason is that the stupid person is a slippery one. Like a pigeon playing chess, they are not open to either
That's pretty much Trump, isn't it? He's the stupid person who's very dangerous, and Elon Musk is the evil one. So watch for him. I mean, you see how he uses his kid as a shield? He brings his kid everywhere with him, so if somebody wants to shoot him down in public, they have to shoot his 4-year-old baby too. I mean, that's what some people are saying. I don't know, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Reason or debate. And so for Bonhoeffer, stupidity is far more dangerous because it is a weapon that evil people can often use. Because evil people find it hard to take power themselves, they will need stupid people to do their work for them. A stupid person can be guided, steered, and manipulated to do any number of things, and history teaches us that stupidity does not mean you cannot be powerful. Evil is a puppet master, and it loves nothing so much as a powerful idiot.
To a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that it's America, and we're willing to die to protect it. Every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Guardian, and Coast Guardsman, each of us commits our very life to protect and defend that document, regardless of personal price.
So guys, we need our military leaders to step up and let Trump know that they're not just going to bow down to him and kill Americans in the streets like he wants. Do you remember back in his last term when he wanted to go stand out in front of the church across from the White House and hold up the Bible, and there was people protesting, and he asked Mark Esper if he could bring the military out just to shoot them in the legs. I mean, he's a ridiculous idiot, but these are the thoughts that go through his head because he has no concept of empathy. He's a narcissist. Narcissists don't know empathy. He's a sociopath. His dad was a sociopath. That's the way he raised him. He's never cared about anybody in his life but himself. He doesn't care about his kids. He doesn't care about his wife. So we need the military, when shit gets out of hand, to step up and say, no, we're not going to do that. And that's what should happen in a democratic republic like we have. Just like what happened in Korea when the Korean president a few months ago tried to declare martial law. The right-wing president tried to declare martial law to take over the country, to go back to a dictatorship like they had before, a military dictatorship. And all of Congress in Korea said no. The military said no. They arrested the president, and there he sits in jail till this day. Watch Trump get some pushback here from the governor of Maine. He's a bully and a tyrant, and this is what he's going to get from everybody in the U.S. except for his MAGA cult fanatics coming up soon.
2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue, because you'll never win another race. And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered and hadn't been broken.
So this whole trans women in sports is just red meat for his base. There's like, I don't know, 10,000 athletes in the NCAA, and like 4 of them are trans. So it's just ridiculous that he's using this to get people to turn right and become right wingers. It's just red meat.
Broken in 19 years, and then guy walks up who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That will be a record not going to be broken again in a long. So we put a ban on it. The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
Trump's just a bully. He's an idiot, and he's got to go. Like, subscribe, comment. See you guys later.